Cette histoire a commencé il y a 20 ans. C'est celle d'une amitié entre un jeune Français et un surfeur professionnel australien qui ont vécu une aventure inoubliable à la recherche de vagues et à la rencontre d'une culture ancestrale.
Je pense que c'est la plage la plus surfée d'Europe. Même plus que la côte des Basques. En termes, pas plus surfée, mais en termes de jours avec des gens dans l'eau. C'est même la côte, quand c'est tempête, il n'y a personne, tu vois. Ici, il y a toujours quelqu'un, c'est un truc de fou. Elle est pure, celle-là. Le logo est de 1963. Ça, c'est l'équipe Biarritz, les guides baigneurs 1903. Les premiers maîtres nageurs de France, je pense. D'Europe, peut-être. Ouais. Yes. Ça va? Tranquille. Il y a une gauche au milieu. Ça peut le faire. Vas-y, hein, viens.
La vie est un grand voyage. J'ai envie de vivre les délivrer de ces illusions. Ce que toi et moi vivions. La vie est un grand voyage. J'ai envie de vivre les délivrer de ces illusions. Ce que toi et moi vivions. La vie est un gros voyage. La vie est un gros voyage. Du soleil lève ton regard. Du soleil lève ton regard. Du soleil lève ton
Amener un bout de pays en Australie. Voilà. Allez, je profite. Dernier petit repas, quoi. Brebis cheese store salade, à l'ancienne. Il est là le secret. Pas besoin de beurrer, quoi. Bon, allez, 3. Allez, petits sanchos. Chistora, salade brebis avant de partir. Et une baguette, la baguette. 30 heures de voyage nous attendent. Après, je pense que je vais prendre la péta. Une petite péta classique. Une petite péta pour l'Australie. Péta Oxbow. And Mr. Pagey already on the board. C'est signé. Ça, j'aimerais bien l'amener. Hein. Là, j'aimerais bien l'amener, mais bon, ça va faire du poids dans la housse. Et ça, je prends ça si ça envoie. Si ça envoie un bon pipeliner. Ouais, il faut des gauches. Hein. J'espère qu'on va trouver un gros... J'aimerais bien trouver un... Ouais, un bon pipeliner. Quoi. Ça sert toujours. T'as de la rame, personne t'arrête avec ça. Allez, je prends ça. Parti. I met Robbie in Guettari on a big day in Avalanche. I was 18 years old. I get caught by the sets and I hear someone yelling like, wow, wow, what the fuck? And I say, oh, what, who's that guy? And I turn my head, I saw Robbie Page. And the first thing I think is, wow, that's a legend, he's Pipe Master and he's still yelling in the water. So after that, I surfed with Robbie many times in Guétari. He was really in love with the place. And the day I decided to leave France to go to Australia, so that was my first trip. I was 19 years old. And I arrived in the train station in Biarritz. I met Robbie, just there, and he saw me with my board bags and all my stuff. He said, "Where are you going?" I say, "Australia." "Oh, fuck, me too." And I was with my mother, and the beautiful things, he told my mother, "No worry, mother, I take care of your kids." And so my mother was just like tripping. She didn't know Robbie, and she was like, "Wow, I don't know him. He looks like really cool, but really crazy too." Like I was 19 years old, no idea about what surfing in Australia was. And we were always parking the car, checking the waves, and it was beautiful waves, easy. I was feeling confident. I said, "Yes, let's go, Robbie, let's go, Robbie." And most of the time it was like, no. I know a better break. It's gonna be hollower, it's gonna be bigger, it's gonna be a better place to surf. So we were ending up always in a harder surf, and I said it's like my military in surfing. Maybe 3 weeks in his house, I was feeling really comfy. Because I was a kid, 19 years old. He was making my porridge every morning, going surfing. After 3 weeks, Robbie started to look at me, "Hey mate, you're in Australia, you need to discover why are you here and what are you looking in Australia?" So he kicked me out of his house. He sent me on the road, and that's also make me grow a lot. And that's why I think I've traveled all those years after that.
Come and park it. Hey, I've left. Where's Matty with the keys? Is he at the car? Is that right? The light says it's on. How do we get lights on? I'm really excited for Arno to get here. Arno came and visit me when he's 19 and he's 39. And it's so classic. Arno, you crazy French fucker. You came, I told you to go walk about, I told you to charge heavy waves. I didn't know you were going to go that hard. Thumbs up, monsieur. Fucking legendary. Arno, you're coming. Woo! This is the modern age corroboree. Yeah, everybody comes together and the vibration lifts. You can go to any surfing event and there's a lot of different people feeling uplifted and ego pumped, a lot of it. We don't have that, that's not that. Like we'll go out there and compete as hard as we can, but it's a family atmosphere. We're here to lift the vibration. These are the times to be dancing, these are the times now. You go right? These are the times to be dancing. These are the times right now. Look at the red pants! That's the best of the show. Everybody This is what we come for. This is the real deal. The high priest from the north. We've got more stripes than others. Fucking you feel it, eh, brass? We've got tears in our heart, haven't we? You are the truth. You've come to ride 60 to 80 foot tubes, and we hope you do it in peace and love and joy. Love you, brother.
Love you, Uncle Robbie.
Come on there, get in here, Uncle. Get in here, Uncle. I can't.
Yeah, that's fine.
Hey, we got it.
On the hump. Cheeseburger, cheeseburger, cheeseburger.
Necessary?
Je pense souvent à mon premier voyage. Robbie m'a marqué à vie. Aïe aïe aïe, sacré Robbie. Après ce premier trip, le verre était dans la pomme. S'en est suivi 7 années autour du monde, avec des post-travail en France pour les financer. L'énergie insufflée par Robbie ne m'a jamais quitté. Je ne cherchais pas, je voulais voir et vivre sur la route, avec 2 planches, souvent seul, mais rarement tout seul. 20 ans après, je me dis que ça serait trop cool de retrouver Uncle Robbie et de reprendre la route du surf avec lui.
See that flag behind me? Not bad, eh? Can you fucking believe this?
Depuis la France, c'est un long voyage jusqu'en Australie. Après 30 heures, je suis enfin au bord du Pacifique face à l'Antarctique. Robbie est dans l'eau. Ça fait 2 jours qu'il surfe Bells pour la compétition. Il sait que j'arrive aujourd'hui, mais ne sait pas quand. On va le surprendre sur le sable.
Oh, hey! Hey, look at that jacket! Hey! Unreal! Look at these guys, the Frenchies here! That's fucking real! That's cool. Look at these guys!
Good to meet you, man. Fucking high, bro.
And I love my wife, so you got many kids when you
Fuck yeah, and look how good you got Bills, your first trip.
Yeah.
You see Winky Pop?
Yeah, see what you got.
I'm in the final longboards. With the Opens, all the young guys. It has to be 8 foot for me to be in the final with these young kids. Yeah, how is this towel? I stuck it on my fireplace at home and it just, you know what happens? Wasn't that a good group of black fellas down at Bells in that car park? Did you see any ego from anyone? That's fucking rare, eh? They weren't part of any ego game. They knew the spirits would bless and the spirits would choose who was going to get the extra star and who can have a conversation. The rest just all boogie together and go, it's all cool, you know? The Robbie Page story. I had an outlet to surf. I had a lot of instability through the family life, so just throwing my madness in the water was the place that I could channel the best me. When I left to go on the tour, I left with Simon Anderson. I beat Rabbit when I'm 17 in France. I beat Sean when I'm 17 in Japan. I went to Mark Richards' training program. I beat Mark Richards man-on-man at Bells. They were like the godfathers. Remember, I won the pipe, and next minute I'm off the tour because I got a bit rad and went to Japan, that story, yeah. Got caught with 5 hits of acid going in Japan and it just changed my life insane. Like, I was in a solitary confinement room over there. It set me up to live alone. After Japan, Oxbow looked after so much love, I think we've got that. And then I was speaking to Fabrice and I was talking to him, you know, do you think I should spend more time in France now because I'm not on the tour? And again, he says, EPG, we have a saying in France, out of sight, out of mind. So fuck. Okay, so I've moved to France. You know, next minute I'm with the Mitterrand family and I'm in the Paris Match magazines. President Mitterrand. And I was going out with his granddaughter and living with the whole family. I was so immersed in the culture, the elegance, the sophistication, and I don't know, it was an open mind. I think a lot of us, we travel around the tour and we believe the hype. We all believe it to a certain extent, and you either go on your whole life believing it or something hopefully busts your bubble and you can renew appreciation. And that's what I think I've got, a new reappreciation. I'm getting older. It's like, you know, you want to find that peace at this age, and I've found my peace with it all.
Avec Robbie et le swell à Bells, pas le temps pour le décalage horaire. Bells Beach est un de ces spots qui transpire la culture surf comme peu d'autres dans le monde. Ce n'est pas forcément la vague la plus parfaite, mais sûrement un des spots les plus iconiques de l'histoire du surf australien. Le surf de Robbie est toujours grave. À 57 ans, il a toujours le flow. J'ai vraiment de la chance. D'après les locaux, je suis face à un des plus beaux jours depuis 3 hivers. D'ailleurs, ils sont tous là. Here you are, let's go Frenchie!
go.
I got two good ones. I pay the price, I get washed at the end on the rocks, but everything fine, man. Everything fine. Sometimes you play.
Close call.
Close call, but it was a cold like beer time. No.
That's right.
I got two good ones. Happy. I'm happy. Happy.
This is cool, sitting here having a joint, just finally relaxed. This is my fourth heat of the day. I'm the oldest fucking guy left in the event. So like, give me a jet ski out there, fuck yous. And all the old Dreamtime stories are true. Like, remember, all the animals here remember the black faces. So they come and talk still.
Yeah,
because they tell their children the Dreamtime stories the same as we tell our Dreamtime.
Yeah.
Right? I'm the white guy with the Aboriginal bloodline, but the black skins, the dolphins and the fish still remember the stories and they talk to them.
The crocodile will protect me in any estuaries and all that. Anything like that, it will protect me if I'm in the ocean like this. The stingrays will protect me. That's what I love. I love that. Hey, happy to you.
It's amazing to get, 100 of the best Indigenous surfers down here all at once in the middle of winter. It's one surfing event you can come and be a part of, and you'll see that there's no ego, and everybody here accepts the ancestors and the spirits who choose to take the titles. We all win just being as a collective group. The vibration lifts. The commodity here is the people. A lot of love, a lot of joy, and it's an Indigenous leadership, this group. We're leading the vibe.
I organise all the event leading up to it and do all the groundwork to get all the lads here and all the amazing people. But what we're trying to do with this event is make sure that our next generation are proud of who they are, proud of being Aboriginal. Like, there's all these amazing young surfers that are coming through that we want to make sure that they're proud of who they are so that they can be like strong in their culture. So when they go to these events, they are their whole self, they're strong in what they believe. What they're
true to themselves.
Yeah, they're true to themselves. Like, that's what you forget with our people. Like, we haven't had that opportunity to be proud in who we are while representing all of this community. Whereas this event, it's like, it brings us together. We're putting our stamp on this historic spot with like 10 years of Aboriginal people coming from all over. Like, we probably had the biggest and strongest event we've ever had this year.
This was heavy.
In the best ways ever. I would properly make that.
I'm feeling good. I got lots of energy there. The Austral winter is here, man.
It is here.
Yeah. While I was in summer, feel the summer vibes in Arom, take a plane, and 24 hours later, you're with the winter time, with big swells, big lines, feeling the energy of the ocean, Pacific Ocean, feeling it's good. Thanks.
My gang will get you. Come on, Coco. Coco, a little bit. Get it going. Come on, brah. Come on, one more, a bit more. Look, we got the tip.
Yes, go. That's my only move I know.
Après la compète et des bonnes sessions à Bels, the road trip is on. Avec Robbie, comme il y a 20 ans, je suis sûr de deux choses. On ne pourra rien prévoir et on ne va pas s'ennuyer. Yeah, we love Australia.
Yeah, I don't know. You want some? He wants some. He asked for some.
You think you can get it?
Anywhere where you can immerse yourself into nature, nature be bigger than you, and nature force you into releasing and letting go, you're in a good place. I find it the ultimate place for me. That's pretty cool, man. This is the real deal. This is our people.
We understand nature, we live by nature, we never change nature. We respect her first, always.
Where are you people from?
Heaven.
Oh, right.
You've come to the bush shop. What would you like? Lovely. Hop in there. See this here? This is a French man. This French are sexual machines. He said, look at the big dick. And look at that little orange mushroom behind the big dick. I call it the chlorophyll effect. And as soon as I go in where everything's green like this, my eyes take the green in, that whole green thing, and my whole body relaxes. Breathing all the fresh air. Like I see these big trees and all they're just going, take that fresh air, man.
I really like the forest. It's so different from where we live. So I'm kind of lost.
How would you feel if you were just a little grub and just hung in there all your life? You didn't even know there was any waves down the beach, did you? Father, we have sinned. We have caught too many waves and other people wanted them.
Yeah, I caught too many waves in the Basque Country of other people. I see.
Le lendemain, dans notre exploration de la côte, Robbie et Wayne s'arrêtent et m'expliquent ce qui s'est passé à cet endroit, il y a longtemps. Une histoire tragique entre aborigènes et colons. Quand les Européens se sont installés dans la région, ils ont voulu s'approprier la terre du peuple Kirae-Wurrung.
Look at it, coming this side of the rock. Yeah. Look at that thing, that's fucking big time. That's a big wave, right?
Les aborigènes se sont défendus, mais les Européens jetèrent les hommes du haut de la falaise et noyèrent les femmes et les enfants dans les marais. Aujourd'hui, il ne reste plus aucun Kirae-Wurrung dans cette région. Dès l'instant où je rentre dans l'eau, je réalise que je suis au milieu de nulle part. En France, il est rare de surfer des endroits si reculés et loin de tout. Les mouvements d'eau sont trop forts, courant, backwash. Dane et Robbie ne se mettent même pas à l'eau. Tout seul, c'est trop dangereux. S'il se passe quelque chose au large, je suis foutu. Robbie me rappelle à l'ordre. Tu es père de famille, hein? Pas de risque inutile, mec.
We tried to paddle out on a very sacred and sentimental place and surf it, and it was enormous, and it felt to me that we were not meant to be there on that day. What happened, Wayla?
When I spent my time on the rocks, speaking to the old people and getting the full welcome on country, I thought, you know, we can easily grab boards, get out there, but today, the old people, the reason why it come up so rough and out of control, that there was too much blood spilled here, and it's a very emotional. The ocean come up very emotional.
Soon as I thought that it was a good time to go, it wasn't. And the energy kept coming and the energy kept coming, and then when Uncle Robbie come down the rocks, yeah, I was like, yeah, we're not meant to surf today. We are not meant to surf here.
We had a beautiful trip down here, and that's more than enough for us.
Yeah.
You know, once it comes through the land and the old people sing through that, it comes through us. You know, we get the deep-rooted connection that it runs through our heart and soul and our spirit and everything that's connected holistically.
Thank you for the message you receive and you give us. That was humbling to be in that place, passing through that cave, trying to go in the water. And I told you, I don't feel what you feel, because I'm not from that country also. I just see the power of the ocean, and I search myself, it's like being in the middle of a big couloir in the mountain and be able to say, today is not the day. Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
To share that.
Thank you.
Thanks, Wayne.
That was a long ride.
Yeah.
Together in the car, smiling,
well worth
having
it.
fun. And then we arrived there, and all the reality of what's happened came back to us straight to the face, like a big pain.
Yes.
We'd like to give our thanks to all of our ancestors, present, past and future, on this country here. Thank you for staying strong and holding down the line. Bless. Thank you.
Après une longue journée de route et une bonne nuit, nous retrouvons nos amis à Aussie Pipe.
What do you want me to do?
Enfin, on essaye quoi.
They must be so tired, bro. They've driven all the way. I feel like I can't wake them up right now. Let's give them an hour.
There'll be little head-high peaks out here, I reckon, today.
Yeah, okay.
A couple of little tussles. Do you love it?
Yeah, I love it. Wow.
Do you fucking love it?
Yeah.
Hey, I got to go back and get my wetsuit, eh? Walk down here and walk just around the rock wall and sit there.
Okay.
You good? Okay, Ralph. And how do you feel wearing that, Uncle? Oh. How good's Uncle in this? Part of the land.
Is that real?
As soon as we touch the car park, the shoes come off up there. Back to the original law. The Doolagar mob know we're here. We come in love and respect on Doolagar country. Tell us about the Dooligar here. Walking
Oh,
through.
the Dooligar, the spirit of the land is still just as strong as probably when you first arrived
Yeah,
here.
it's still here, man.
And it's the same for me. Every time I come out here, I have some sort of spiritual connection and some sort of experience.
When me and Muz got out of the car, first thing we did was took our shoes off, touched the ground again. That's the law. And as we walk through there, just say, hey, Dooligar, coming in peace and give some loving, bro. They know you're here.
Yeah.
They know who's here. And it's powerful.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
So the Dooligar brings out all sorts of emotion in us. For some people it's fear, and for some people it's realising that we're not the only presence here.
Yeah, there's a lot of other presents.
Yeah.
And we're nice share. Thanks for surfing with me for 4 or 5 decades. 5 decades or 4 decades, eh, Nick?
Oh, yeah, let's not count it, mate.
Let's not count. Let's just stay light.
Let's enjoy the next 10.
The next 10. Unreal. Look at them. Look at the expression on the trees. They're the most beautiful people ever. And all they want to do is go up and go, have a hit of that good gear. Beautiful, eh? That's their personality.
Après plusieurs jours sur la route, Robbie doit rentrer chez lui pour s'occuper de son shop. Je le reverrai plus tard. Avec Wayne, on décide de continuer le trip. Nous voulons surfer et découvrir de nouveaux spots ensemble, hors des pistes déjà explorées, nous laissant guider par les songlines d'hypothétiques vagues aux confins. Nous traversons de nombreux pays, comme dit Wayne, de nombreux pays aborigènes. Mais nous ne trouvons rien de surfable. C'est décevant. Mais au lieu de s'obstiner, d'aller de déception en déception, on décide de vivre cette aventure autrement. Wayne m'apprend la patience, le calme et me montre que c'est le country, le pays, leur terre qui décide, pas nous. Nous avons le temps de se parler, se livrer. Les amitiés se créent plus vite ainsi.
That's my totem. That's the ancestors looking down on us, look.
Wayne me montre comment il se nourrit en allant chercher sa propre nourriture au fond de l'océan. Son rapport à la nature est incroyable et inspirant.
We get in the water, we take lobster, we take mutton fish to go abalone. Yeah. And we actually kill something living. So we have to respect that and appreciate that little beautiful animal, you know, that lives. And we give thanks for that. And that's how we do it, by looking after country. And there he goes there, he's back, look. Jojo?
C'est fascinant de se dire que ses ancêtres se sont réincarnés en aigles, le totem de sa nation, et qu'on pêche sous leur regard protecteur.
How can you believe that, Jojo?
I can't believe that.
I got goosebumps.
Yeah.
Oh, bros. And
nice.
That is so special.
Yeah.
The old people looking after us today. Yes, it tells us that we are going to be safe and looked after.
This is the one.
Okay. We show our respect, you know? That's the most important thing. No matter where we travel, there's someone else that's already walked it before you. This land's been walked over inside out. What do we got? Yeah, that's it. We'll eat that later. Okay. But we're going to give thanks to that beautiful animal, and we respect this animal at the fullest. Okay, and we give thanks for that.
Thank you. See?
How's that?
Oh,
How sweet. Like to see, eh? Sweet.
Avant de rentrer, je décide de retrouver Robbie chez lui dans son bush. Dans son shop, il a amassé un véritable trésor. Au long de toutes ces années, il a collectionné et reçu de nombreuses planches retraçant l'histoire du surf australien des 40 dernières années.
So you found me. We were looking for something like that, weren't we?
Yeah.
We didn't find it, eh?
no,
No,
not this time.
not this time.
It's a long walk.
It's a long while. Nice shirt. Yeah, Entree, monsieur. Monsieur Basque. Le premier Basque. Oh, le monsieur.
Oh, il est là, ouais.
Il est là. Look at those pants. Bill, you got a better wave than that, huh?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
I think so.
I've never had a wave at belts like that in my entire life, so fuck, you got the waves. Look at all my drivers. Hey, what do you reckon?
Yeah, but they're bigger.
Good surf shop? Hey, is that a good toilet or what?
Yeah, it's the best in the world, man.
Right, this is the best bath in the world, mate. Every night I sit out here, fucking possums walking over. Sometimes I see the big snake in the summer here. You happy? You don't dance, the back ain't happy. No, you gotta dance. You have a look at that. Wow. Is that beautiful? He loves it, doesn't he?
Gold there.
I got gold, bro.
You got gold there. Ah, the fin right at the back. I like stiff and right at the back.
J'ai les yeux qui brillent, comme il y a 20 ans.
So have I got a reason to
Yeah.
believe in my Robbie
You got
Bay surfboard
reason
design?
to believe in your design for sure and in your place.
Thanks, bro.
The place is.
I'm glad you come and blessed me.
Yeah.
Now I'm ready. I've got the Basque blessing, yeah?
Yeah.
I've got the French and the
No,
Basque
but
blessing.
it's a museum, it's a cafe, it's a place for
Yeah.
people to come and share.
And it's got that vibe, huh? Everybody's
got that
welcome,
vibe, yeah,
everybody's
yeah.
free. Come on
Yeah.
in. We're all
Yeah.
welcome, we're all the same. We're good buds. Mike Tyson goes all the buds, he's the fucking legend. We should be at Mike Tyson's ranch. Coco knows I'm the King Volcano, eh?
You know it.
He knows I'm Dr. Volcano. Huh. It's a good clean way of getting the medicine in. I'm King Volcano, what can we do?
No.
Give thanks. We don't know how long we're here for. They say to be a human is so rare, it's like winning the lotto 10,000 times. It ain't no fucking practice run. If you don't like what you're doing, change it, man. Tick, 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 tick. I'm getting older. I love you all. Let's keep surfing.
Je n'étais pas revenu en Australie depuis si longtemps. Ce trip, il me tenait à cœur. Il m'a renvoyé à ma jeunesse, ma période d'apprentissage. Il m'a permis de reconnecter avec de vieux amis et d'en rencontrer de nouveaux. Tout au long de la route, j'ai eu de la chance de rencontrer des hommes comme Wayne, qui m'ont initié à une partie de l'histoire et de la culture aborigène. Je n'oublierai jamais ce nouveau trip. Ce fut une chance, une pause propice à la réflexion et à la découverte. J'avais réalisé mon premier voyage sans savoir ce que j'allais chercher. Cette fois, il y avait un plan, mais tout se transforma. Les contemplations, l'espoir de surfer de belles vagues, les émotions de tout le monde qui font le voyage. Il y a 20 ans, une fois rentré en France, j'ai lu ce livre de Bruce Chatwin, Le chant des pistes. L'auteur y décrivait une coutume qui consiste à envoyer en solitaire sur les routes les jeunes aborigènes, symbolisant un rite de passage entre l'enfance et le monde des adultes, le walkabout. Je l'ai compris que plus tard, en me dégageant de chez lui, en m'envoyant à 19 ans seul sur les routes australiennes, Robbie m'avait fait vivre mon propre walkabout.
It's the paparazzi.
Make love to the... Make love
Yes, take out $1 million cash, give it to a guy down the street to buy pies, take out another $1 million cash, and don't ask me why. Just in that way.
Yeah.
And then all pull out.
Oh yeah. Ooh. See?